All right, guys. Hello there. We're back with some more Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. Let's call it action. You know, we're gonna be watching matches. We're not gonna be playing any, but yeah, this is an interesting little thing here, right? This is something that I think a lot of people should do more often. Right? So people say it all the time. Oh, watch your replays, watch your replays. But you know, it could be a little bit ambiguous as to what exactly is meant by that and what like how to do so in a productive fashion. So I figured we can, you know, I'm a little tired right now in the sense that it's a little bit late for me, right? So instead of hopping on ranked, I'm playing some games here. I was like, here's something that could be useful. You know, as you guys know, we had a little bit of a run in TNS. Would have been a few days ago by this point. I think by the point this video is coming out for you guys. So, you know, we went 2-2, and I feel like we played all right. But as always, right, there's definitely stuff that we could have been doing better. Sorry, Lydia, I'm gonna cut you off here just so I can. So I figured let's take a look at some of our matches from the tournament. Right, we can watch those replays and we can analyze it. Again, this is sort of the benefit. The whole point of watching replays is that you can analyze your matches in a time where right now I see I'm like chill. I'm speaking maybe even a little bit quieter than normal. You know, it's late at night. I got no pressure on me, right? Whereas during a match, like I'm very big on, as you guys all know, being very, you know, analytical and present and active during the match, and even, you know, analyzing at runtime, like while you're still playing the game, and that's good. But you know, even that's hard to do, and even if you can do it, you can very easily miss things, which I'm sure I have, right? So I haven't taken a look at these replays yet. This is going to be, you know, kind of like an organic situation, right? Just like one of you guys, you go on ranked, you know, you play somebody, they beat you or you weren't sure what to do about something, right? And you go in, you try and find things in the replays. That's exactly what we're going to be doing here. So we played 4 sets, right? We had our winners round 1 set against Granny D Bluey here, Mr. Granathan. We lost that one 2-0, yeah. So and then we moved down to the losers bracket. Won our first set against Coffee Pot here and Proteus as well, and then we lost our final set to Fumbler there, and that's what kicked us out of the tournament. So, there's definitely we'll probably focus a little bit just more because I know I don't want this video to go too long, so we'll probably focus more on the losses than the wins, but also it depends. If we don't really find as much to talk about, we'll keep going. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, let us get started here. And we can, saving replays is also really a good idea. I actually, these just happens to be my most recent 10 matches, right? But remember, anything after that, like, so my 11th match is completely, it's gone, right? So luckily for me, TNS only comprised 9 matches, right? Because an 0-2, a 2-0, a 2-0, and then a 1-2, right? But saving your replays once you're done with them is probably a good idea, and if you happen to miss them, you can save any of your recent 10 from here. But yes, let us look at this first set with Mr. Bluey here. Mr. Fantasy versus Rising. Granathan, even. Master Rank Gran. So, what I'm expecting to see here is probably, again, that's a nice thing. We can pause, right? And then talk about things. We can go frame by frame, as you can see. I'm expecting this to feel like I have a lot of nerves in my play. Like, when I watch this back with some fresh eyes, I imagine it's going to be pretty clear to me that I was maybe playing a little bit scared in different instances. But, hey, let's just go through and see what we can find, right? So, yeah, like, for example, like, I mean, the immediate walk back is honestly almost a little bit of a sign of this already, right? So, okay, we can talk about something here, right? Because I feel like one of the good things to just, because it's hard to find, obviously, you know, sometimes some games like Tekken, some of the more modern games and other games have this feature too. Like, basically, whenever you sort of make a mistake, they'll pop something up and say, oh, you could have punished with this or whatever, which is great. But even if you don't happen to have that, every time that's something, I'd say the good points to look at are you got hit, right? You lost your turn, or I mean, just in general, if something, yeah, I think those are honestly two really big ones, right? If you got hit or you lost your turn, right? And then you can think about why did that happen, right? Because getting hit is probably you either lost neutral and you got smacked by that boot right there, or you messed something up on defense, and losing your turn could also be you blocked something in neutral, but now you're getting pressured, or you're getting hit. Or you're messing up your offense and people are getting out of the corner or something for free against you. So I think those are the two sort of general ideas there. Look for the big highlights outside of unique things are look for when you get hit and look for when you lose your turn. So the reason I say this is I don't think we can go, we can't go back with a ton of freedom there, but it's okay. The reason I say this is because you saw we were dashing forward there. Actually, we can play this from the start. It'll be nice and quick. I was dashing forward and I got hit by the boots there. Let me see if I can pause a little bit more accurately when it happens. Right around here, I think. Oh, there you go. Here, right? So, why is this not good, right? Why is me not dashing here not good? It's because from the distance that we were at, right, when you're that far from someone, right, think about it before Granblue went for the big boot here. He was like, you know, over by, like, closer to where his index finger ends. Like, that's almost, he was even all the way further back right than that. So dashing forward is usually only a good idea if you are going to full commit to a dash until your 6xl will reach somebody. From that distance, we would have to be dashing for a real long time to actually get in range. Like, we have to be dashing for like a second or two, which in fighting games is obviously an eternity, right? So already, like, we're 6 seconds into the match, and I feel like I've found something. Like, because we have been talking a lot about one of the things that I've been trying to work on and get better at is this this idea of, you know, walking back and walking forward in neutral to kind of play some footsies, rather than just dashing at people and doing either 6xl or 6xh, right? And dashing is still a viable option, but this is an example of like a time where this is never a good idea. If I'm that far away from people, I should be closing the distance with some walk forward, and then once you're close enough that you can dash in 6xl and have it be actually a mix-up, that you committed something, not have it be so reactable, right? Then you should do that. So that's just, you know, so that's, we got hit right there, and it's because we committed to dashing way too far out in neutral when we didn't have the kind of buttons to challenge. I mean, Gran has Fireball, he's got Boot, he's got lots of things that can challenge us from further away. All right. Anyways, let's keep going here. That jump is a little risky, but right, in the sense that we probably could have gotten 2H for that pretty easily, but I'm not too, so okay, we lost our turn there. We got DP'd, right? That's not something that I'm too concerned about, right? Again, things like that jump is a little risky. We got DP'd there, but when it's literally your first interactions with somebody, you're feeling out how they play in neutral, right? So I'm not too upset with either of those. Okay, nice. We did we spaced them out there, the 6xl, right, into the far M to punish any potential mashing. That was good. This command grab's great, right? I think we maybe mess up some timing here. No, okay. Yeah, I mean, they guessed we did strike, but they guessed command grab there, so that's not something that you can be like, that was not a mistake necessarily. They just guessed our mix correctly, and the reversal super there I think is also fine, right? In that case where we have such a big lead, even if they punish us for that, we're still fine, and it's the kind of thing that can just help us close out a round. So that was, I think, the only round we take on Mr. Bluey here. So we're gonna have a lot less to talk about there, but yeah, little bit of a, we were being a little bit passive in neutral there, right? We were just kind of standing still, and they committed to the 6xl right away and then smacked us, right? So we lost our turn. Happens, but again, neutral's tough, right? But again, it's one of those things I think where maybe we were being a little too scared. Both times at the start of the round now, we've walked back, right? Which is really not, as a grappler, that's what you want to do, right? The more distance that there is between you and the opponent, the worse off you're gonna be. So for us to be willingly giving up screen space there, they're not even necessarily, it's not like they're like poking out and sticking buttons and we're scared to approach. No, we just like, without seeing anything from them, round start, walk back, that's playing too scared, right? And that's not a good, we have to know what our goal is as Ladiva, and our goal is to get in people's faces, not to walk to the other side of the screen. We're not playing Matera here. Okay, we brave counter them out. Okay, yes. So I think there was the same thing, right? I really wish, is there a way? No, I don't think. It would be nice if I could scroll backwards and forwards somewhat freely, but you have to deal with it, unfortunately. But yeah, that sweep right there was another consequence of us kind of dashing in from a bit too far away, right? Like, again, we would have to been dashing for a little bit to reach the Gran there. Also, this funny little freeze frame here on Gran's face as we tech the throw. We were dashing from pretty far away, and of course, if you're dashing, you can't block, right? There's no dash blocking in this game, which is why you only want to dash when you can do it like real quick and then just commit to a 6xl. Because otherwise you get stuffed really easily. We could have spot dodged possibly there, but that 2U recovers kind of fast. That could have been another option, right? Potentially, if we wanted to dash, if you really want to commit to dashing, you have to spot dodge as your only real defensive option there. Spot dodge or roll, right? But yeah, so we got swept for that reason. Again, that's you're gonna probably see that a lot, right? A lot of neutral is the hardest part of the game, and it's the part that we still need the most to work on, I think. So just like random dashes like that get us blown up are going to be unfortunately common, I imagine. Yeah, so again, this is why I'm saying we might only look at the 2 losses. We might even only look at the 1 match. I don't know. I'll try and make this a little faster, because I just realized we're at like 10 minutes and I'm on round 2 of game 1. But you know, I think this is educational stuff here. So there we just got clapped, right? Because again, look at everywhere you get hit, everywhere you lose your turn. We were just trying to mash out with 2U on pressure, but he was plus there, so that was a bad idea. That time it works, right? Like, so it's not a bad idea. It's just we have to know, we have to sort of watch our opponent's offensive pattern. We dashed again, but we managed to block in time there. We get thrown. Brave counter, that's fine. We tech that throw. Again, we do the bad tech because it beats shimmies and delayed tech better, right? But, so that's the reason we do the bad tech. When I say the bad tech, I mean the mashing tech, not the hitting the throw tech. Obviously, it leaves you minus, which is why we got blown up there. After we teched, we tried to hit a button, and they hit us for it. But most of the time, the reason we do that is because if they back up, if they do like a little shimmy there, if they do some throw bait moves, we'll get hit by 2L, for example. It'll beat a lot of options that aren't just throw. So it's more versatile, but it is weaker against throw itself, right? Because it leaves you minus there, which is why we got blown up. So that's the big mistake that we made there that got us killed at the end of the rounds. Let's see. All right, am I gonna walk back on round start? Place your bets. I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, you see that? I mean, so that time it actually kind of worked out in the sense that Gran was he just went for something incredibly offensive right away, and we actually barely managed to walk out of the way. I don't think I punished this though, do I? Yeah, no, I don't, because that's not what I had in mind, right? If I'd be like, oh yeah, man, I was so good at this, I'm so good at my footsies, dude. I wanted to walk right out of his range. No, I was scared. Right, again, this is the third round in a row that we started with walk back, and you can tell that it wasn't with anything in mind, really, because we weren't able to capitalize on a pretty big whiff there. We literally are just playing scared. So that's the biggest takeaway from me for this round so far, which is similar to what it was back when, yeah, okay, we dashed forward and got hit there. But that was more okay, because we were close enough that we could have 6-6L'd there. They just called us out. Trying to walk out of the corner there, we get caught. Yeah, that time I got basically confused, right? He charged it up, so I thought a strike was incoming, but no, he just walked up and threw me. And then that time, I believe that hit, I imagine that, because we got counter hit there, right? I did not know that this was plus, but I suppose it might be because he hit me meaty with it, right? But that was just something that I didn't know at the time. I thought I blocked that, and I was like, oh, it's my turn? It was not my turn. And I think, I don't think we die here, but I think this is, you know, closing in on the end of this first match, for sure. Yeah. So this is another thing that's really big, right? And I don't know if you guys run into this a lot too, but so being in the corner is really scary. And at the same time, this game has a very powerful defensive mechanic in Brave Counter. And it's so strong, right? It gets you, if it's a counter hit, it gets you a hard knockdown, right? Even if it's not, it gets you some nice plus frames, it gets you out of the corner, it's your turn again. Even if they block it, it's plus on block, right? So Brave Counter is incredibly strong. And as a result, it actually has become, like, it's so good it's bad in certain situations. Because it's such a, like, you almost want to turn your brain off. I don't want to have to deal with this defense at all. I just want to Brave Counter on wake up and immediately take my turn. Which is a problem because that's actually kind of a viable option. People get really good at baiting it, right? And just running into you and then empty, like jumping right in your face, right? Normally a horrible idea in any fighting game, right? Because it's so reactable and it gives you, like, if you run up to someone and then on their wake up jump, like what this Gran just did, you would just get, you know, anti-aired or reduced to atoms. But what he was hoping for and what happened there is that as he was running into me, I flinched and I tried to Brave Counter. Right, and I got Raging Strike. From there, obviously Raging Strike, huge recovery frames and things like that. Sometimes you gotta be careful, because sometimes that Raging Strike can still clip you when you go in the air, like that Gran did, but he had the timing down, he hit me on the way down, and he got it. But this is definitely a mistake that I run into a lot. I think it happens to me a lot in this tournament, even in some of the matches I win. I need to be a little bit less jumpy on Wake Up. Like, I understand where I'm coming from here, in the sense that, especially at the life we're at a 50-50. Right? Strike kills us, throw kills us. So I don't want to have to make that guess because I'm scared. And you can't tech throws, right? So if he throws me and I do the bad tech, I'm going to be in chip range and he's just going to fireball me and I'm going to die, right? So I get it. I really understand the desire to just want to get out of that situation as soon as possible. But it's just you can't be jittery like that because we just lost the game because of it, right? On defense. Now, of course, that round was already going pretty badly, but it doesn't make it any better or worse that we made that poor decision on defense there. Okay. So there's game one. It was only 13 minutes. We'll keep going here, but I imagine, again, we won't have as much to say about this Granny match, Granny D Bluey match, because it'll probably be a lot of the same stuff. And then we'll probably take a look at our match versus Fumbler, the Charlotta, just to finish off here. Just because I don't think we have enough time for me to talk about 4 matches. We'll be here for like an hour and a half. I think we did round start walk back again, right? And that time we didn't even block that projectile. Like, that is, that's weird. I don't think I was dashing there either. I think I literally just wasn't blocking, right? You can definitely, again, you can very clearly see some nerves here in hindsight, which is good, right? It's good to be able to see this. Again, right now, there's no nerves happening. I'm very calm. I'm just sitting in my room. So it's good to get to analyze this, to see, okay, well, yeah, playing scared was a really big sign in this match, and trying to correct that, I suppose, in my next tournament. You know, I'm probably going to be playing in a couple more, several more this week. City of Mayhem, WASD, Paragon Line. I can't do the next TNS because I'll be out the next Saturday, but that's fine. So this is good to learn. Okay, so that 6-6L is good. Definitely we need to, okay, yeah. Definitely we need to command grab a little bit more there, I think, in general. Just because I think, I was talking about this in the video as well, but when I'm scared, I command grab less, because command grab, if people, you know, guess command grab, you get full combo. If people guess strike, well, it's still your turn. But I can't let that sort of thing scare me off of it. And then, of course, they spot dodge the headbutts. I think if we had mashed earlier there, we could have actually beat that spot dodge, but I wasn't ready for it. So always be, you know, don't autopilot on offense. I think I definitely autopiloted a little bit there. That boot was spaced out enough to be plus. So was that one, though. So that's good. Okay. Yeah, we'll get the mid-screen Oki here. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Okay, DP again. So that's the second time that he's done that. I still wouldn't consider this. He hasn't been DPing enough that we need to be, like, giving up our turn outside of these very tense moments. Okay, he punished our jump, though. Got hit by that move again. That grand unique slash is definitely something that I need to maybe do some labbing on. I'm not entirely certain what the frame data looks like at all times. Like, is it always plus, or is it maybe only if they space it, or if they, you know, if they hit you meaty? Okay, yeah. So that one, I actually did not realize the Grand, because what I'm pretty sure this happened there, right? Grand canceled his sweep into his boot there, right? And that was not something that I knew he could do. I can't cancel my sweep into specials, and I'm pretty sure that's just 2U, right? So that just caught, again, some of this is actually, surprisingly enough, I know it sounds weird to say, but some of this is just like character unfamiliarity with Gran, right? I know he's like, he's the Shoto, he's Mr. Fantasy versus Rising, but there's a couple things that Granny D Bluey here was doing that caught me off guard, for sure. Things I didn't really know about Gran, or things I didn't know he could do. So I saw the 2U there, and I tried to swing, and then I got booted for it. Okay, so round start that time, we at least ran forwards, but we dashed forward, right? Now, we were trying to commit to a 6XL, I guess, but we took our sweet time doing it, and then he just he ran up and dash attacked us. Okay, we'll take a throw there. That's fine. It's just mix. Nothing too special there. Yeah, okay, and there we... so that's actually interesting. I feel like a lot of the time, I would know. Like, I looking back, I feel like that was pretty clearly not spaced out quite enough to me for me to really want to go for far M of all things, right? Again, you have to, like... 6XH is, like, +2 at max if you space it out perfectly, and our far M is a 7 or 8 frame normal. So you really want to be quite confident that you hit that +2 if you're going to be swinging out far M. And I feel like in a more calm state, I can look at that and say that I really shouldn't have hit far M after that, but I did. Right? It's just another bit of just, you know, obviously it's easier when you're looking back here and it's not in the moment. But that's a being more careful about when we hit. Oh, okay. That's honestly, I don't think that was necessarily too bad by us. That was just more so good from him, right? We had done that previously where we had 2 U's to get out of the corner. And we were a little bit, he was a little bit further away this time, so he got a little bit more time to react to 2U as was coming out. But yeah, he just charged, and then he crouched, right? He baited us into thinking he was doing something, right? And then he blocked our 2U, so that was honestly more so well done by him rather than poorly played by us. So I'm not too upset about that. I mean, obviously, it's a strong player, right? I believe he went on in the winner's bracket to take out some strong contenders, for sure. So it's not that I'm, again, the point here is not to be like, oh man, I can't believe I lost, right? No, that's fine. Like, the losing isn't the problem here. The reason we're focusing on the losses is because probably there's more that we did wrong here, right? In the sense that the thing we're trying to focus on and stamp out are our mistakes, not our losses. You know, like, for example, like that thing with the 2U at the end there, obviously, you know, we could have just picked a different option and it would have worked, right? But I'm not so sure that I'm so mad at that option necessarily. I think that was just, he played well. He adapted to us in a good way. Maybe we could have tried to be a little bit more unpredictable. But things like, you know, walking back at round start every single round except the last one. Dashing way too much in neutral instead of walking forward, especially when we have a lot of distance to cover and dash is never going to get us there, right? Not command grabbing enough, right? Generally playing scared and nervous. Hitting buttons even when we know we're not plus, or at least not recognizing we're not plus off of 6XH, for example. These are all things that are actually important mistakes that I would like to stamp out. Like that 2U at the end there could have been, obviously we could have done something better, but I don't think that's priority number 1 to change. I just very quick, I mean, well, yeah, the Belial and the matches against Proteus, I think were fine. But I think definitely some guard button usage against Lancelot, definitely I remember was warranted there. We should have done a little bit more of that, but it's fine. Okay, yeah, let's watch these games versus Fumbler here. We'll start with the one that we won. If I remember correctly, there is some shenaniganry here going on for sure. But like there were some dropped combos from us, but they turned into American resets and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys get the basic idea so far here, right? I think this is important to do. You don't have to do this for this takes time, obviously. But just like, if you guys have a particularly difficult, like, you don't have to do this for every single match you ever play. But if you have a particularly difficult session, right? Or if you run into something, if you have a match where you just feel completely lost, you're like, what am I supposed to do there? You know, sometimes just going back and watching it in a more, I guess, calm environment, right, like this, right, can be really helpful. And again, look for times where you get hit and times where you lose your turn, right? I would say those are the 2 hot spots. Do we walk? Yeah, so we round start, walk back again. I'm still not happy about this. I was feeling definitely a little bit nervous in this Charlotta match because it was, you know, it was for our tournament life, right? Like, this was, if we lose this, we got eliminated, which is what ended up happening. But still. Okay, the dash there, again, at least against Charlotta, right? The dash there is not necessarily as bad. Obviously, Charlotta has a couple of moves that can challenge us from big distance, but it's not like Gran, who has the really quick boot and the fireball and things like that. Charlotta, the best you can do is Blanca Ball, which is relatively reactable a lot of the time, at least for the ones that get you really big punishment on hit. But still, maybe that dash was from pretty far away downtown, but you can tell this because I wanted to do 6XL, right? So I'm not as mad about that one. But again, like closing the distance with some walking them down, right, is probably still a better option most of the time. Okay, we didn't command grab the first time. I'm going to be interested to see how we command grab in this set going forward. That against Demon Flip there, we 2H, we just did it a little late. I'm okay with that. My biggest problem, as you're going to see with Demon Flip, is standing up into it, right? So the fact that we 2H there, but we were a little too slow, that's okay. That's more of a mechanical, it's a reactionary error more than anything. We have the right idea. We just dropped the ball a little bit. Okay, we Brave Counter, we 6XH, it is spaced pretty well. Nice, we could have done a second headbutt there for more damage, but it's okay. I guess we didn't quite hit confirm the headbutt in time to get to do the second one. Alright, they steal their turn with 6XL there, so we're being a little bit passive as far as just holding them in the corner, but it's okay. We probably could have gotten a kill there as well if we had done Raging Strike or something. Actually, no, we don't think we had the meter, but that's fine. Punishing, yeah, well, not punishing, but more so taking advantage of the minus frames there is good, right? That first round I'm not too upset about. We'll see. Do we walk back again? Yes, yeah. I mean, I know that Charlotta is also backdashing, but if anything, that's a great sign for us to try and take some space, right? We get hit by a jump in there, we have to hold this, right? 6XL. All this is fine so far, we're blocking. This is our turn, right? Yeah, so we try to take it. I really would like, so at this point, this is like the 4th or 5th time that we've had plus frames on the Charlotta and we haven't command grabbed, right? We really need to be representing that option early on. I feel like the earlier on you command grab somebody in a set, right, the more mental damage it does and the more cascading benefits you get. Let's get the Grand Cypher out of here for the noise. But yeah, the more cascading benefits you get as the set goes on. So in general, another game where I'm just like, I really wish we were command grabbing a bit more. We tried it there, that's good, but see that time they counter hit us for it. We need to be doing it, but we shouldn't let that dissuade us, right? That EX clothesline worked. At the time, I remember I mentioned something about one. Oh, that's an unfortunate little draw opportunity from us here. That EX clothesline worked, and I guess because the Charlotta has been, yeah. Well, okay, there's a lot to talk about there, but we covered it in the video, so we won't go over it in too much detail. But that EX clothesline worked, and I think, you know, that Charlotta was doing a lot of, they did the Blanca Ball in neutral, so I think in my head I was trying to catch them for that, but I still think maybe that's a little risky, right? Unnecessarily so. Like, if they just didn't do that and spot dodged me, we would have been in a lot of trouble. And of course, then we dropped the combo into a reset, I tried to do SPD on Wake Up there, but I actually messed up and jumped, but then they jumped, and they got hit by JU, right? A lot of that is just, there's some spaghetti there, but it's okay. I still think, even though that was a weird thing, the fact that we managed to capitalize on all of those weird little stray hits in those crazy situations is a good sign, right? All right, but that's where the good news ends. So that's the last game that we win in our TNS run there. So let's take a look at these next 2 games versus Fumbler, where if I remember correctly, these were not one-sided, but he definitely did some good adaptation and won these games rather decisively, if I recall. Okay, so you can see, by the way, immediately, I win a game, and I feel confident, right? So what do I do around start? I don't walk back anymore. If you needed any more proof that this is me, like the walking back there was not me trying to be tactical, it was me playing scared, there you go. Now, unfortunately, what we do is we do dash round starts. Ladiva's 6XL loses, in my experience, to most other 6XLs. If I do 6XL round start and they do 6XL round start, I'm probably going to lose. So I think, in general, that's not a really great idea for me to be doing. A little bit, you know, either walking out and waiting, or if I'm certain that they're going to 6XL, trying to check them with like a 5H or a 2M or something is probably a better idea. But yeah, just round start, dash up 6XL loses to a lot of different options from people because Ladiva 6XL does not exactly have the best horizontal reach, right? So we're eating this now, that's fine. Doria! Okay. She whiffs her throw there, and we... Oh, okay. She whiffs her throw, and we react with 2U. We mess up our timing on the command grab on Wake Up. That's another thing. That's something we talked about before that I need to get in my head, right? Of like, it's a 50-50. How fast you command grab doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it's never going to be reactable for people. If I wait like a couple of extra frames to do something, that's not going to give them the chance to react, right? But so I always try and rush because I want to command grab them meaty as soon as possible, right? But there's so much Wake Up invincibility for throws in this game. Just wait. And it's never, again, adding like, making it so I command grab them 10 frames after they wake up instead of 7 frames after they wake up. That's not none of that's reactable, right? It's a 50-50. So I need to realize that if I'm right on the guess, I'm right on the guess. If I'm wrong, they're out anyway. How fast I do it doesn't matter, and in fact, it can just lose me command grab opportunities like that, right? We took a whole bunch of damage and lost our turn for that. Okay. They stuff us on the way in there. We were trying to steal some turns with a 6-6H. And yeah, they come down with an aerial, they're plus, we try to challenge it, and we get bonked for it, right? So Just a poor time to hit a button there, for sure. And yeah, this, I'm confused. So I just don't think I was blocking here. I think I was holding like down or down back, but I don't think so. I think I was maybe just holding, I just wasn't holding back in some way, shape, or form. So this is just a mechanical flub that came from the nerves, for sure. Us getting hit by that. Because I was very, like, I saw that coming and then I just didn't block it, so. Unfortunate. Okay, so that, okay. I like what I tried there. I like what I tried there in the sense that we tried to throw out a quick button to check her 6XL on the way in. It's just, far L is not the button for that, right? Far M, now we're talking. That button is big active, big button, big hitbox, right? And it can combo into clothesline, right, as well. So I like what I did there, but we had the wrong button, I think. Okay, that time I guess she actually had plus frames on us. I don't know why, actually. But then the next time she covers it with DP, that's fair. Yeah, that time we had our plus frames. That's good. We're going to do the clothesline? No. All right, guys. I didn't tell you about this one. You guys, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, or if you're on the Discord or anything like that, you know about my 5U brain rot, right? I think at the time I was like, wouldn't it be funny if this hit him? But like, that's just like, that's such a bad mentality, right? It's like, I'm like, oh, I'm just trolling. But no, I want to win, right? This is almost me like giving up. Like, I would almost say like that right there is a really bad sign of my mental, right? Well, so obviously 5U is a horrible option. Don't, right? It's incredibly reactable. Like, obviously, we don't have to spend too much time about don't do that. Does clothesline win or does Blanca Ball win here? I forget. Okay, definitely her ultimate skill. Makes sense. Clothesline does start up pretty slow, in my understanding. We definitely have a bad habit of 6-6Hing immediately after Brave Counter every time, and lots of good players will pick up on it pretty fast, right? We got our 2H here, baited. Oh, but they don't actually get the punish. We stand up into Demon Flip. I'm not even going to pause this one. This is very simple. We just need to not do this. We need to either 2H or remain crouching, right? But it's just it's a bad habit of like, you see the opponent in the air, you want to stand block, but no, not against Demon Flip. Okay, weird option there, but at least it got us out of the corner, but obviously not ideal. I mean, this round is, yeah. I'm panicking, right? Both of those ultimate clotheslines are just panic options, so you can see that clear as day, and obviously not good, but we bet much better there. It's just because it feels sometimes like, oh, let's Charlotta. It feels a lot of the time like, oh, well, I'm just so behind, I have to take a big risk to try and get back. That's not necessarily wrong, right? But if you're gonna take risks that are at least that have like any chance of working there, right? Ultimate clothesline is not the sort of risk that you like. You know, if I tried to like empty jump in super skybound dart, obviously that's also really, but at least that's something that like is more unexpected, right? I feel like a Ladiva at half screen or full screen with 100 meter, like of course they're going to ultimate clothesline at you if you expect them to panic, right? So it's too predictable of an option. Not a good panic option. Sometimes out of the corner, that can be a good panic option just because they don't have enough time to react, and it's like people expect you to be defensive in the corner, so you suddenly go very belligerent. That's a problem. But are we gonna dash forwards? No. Yeah, see, now I'm scared again. I'm walking back. Though, this time, again, this was not intentional, but this time we do actually manage to punish the Blanca Ball on the way in. But that was definitely not the idea. I was scared because I lost the last match, so I walked back. Okay, no command grab. Again, so that's a problem, right? So the Charlotta hit us there again because we go strike first and then command grab. You notice this? In this set with the Charlotta, both of the times we've been knocked out, I've definitely picked up on this pattern, and the Charlotta did it mid-match, so kudos to them. We try strike. When strike doesn't work, we do command grab, right? It's like clockwork. So again, we need to be much more. Being a grappler is all about being unpredictable and playing mind games. If you're gonna do the same tempo on offense every single time, it's not gonna work out, right? We got our Brave counter baited there, like what happened with Mr. Bluey. We talked about not being too jittery there. We match on her plus frames there. That's just like, we know about this. This is one of the first things this is the first thing, I think, actually, that we labbed on like any character, right? We know that Charlotta is +1 there, but I just, for some reason, felt the need to match on her plus frames. So again, this is just some nerves. We didn't block that again. I'm not sure what I'm doing there. I'm not sure. Is that unblockable? I don't think so. I think I'm just not holding back for some reason. Nice. This is good. We punished the DP on the way down, right? We actually got a pretty decent combo here too. I like that I was happy with, right? There's signs of life here for sure. We haven't completely given up. We're doing some stuff right. They DP. Yeah, that's fair. Again, I'm not too mad about that because that doesn't really give them a ton. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like the idea with that, right? But obviously it didn't pan out, but I do like the idea of that. Okay, we're dashing forward there, which is a little risky, but against a character like Charlotta that can't control giant swaths of the neutral, it's not so bad. Now I think we're basically checkmated from here, right? Yeah. I mean, this is more so, I actually wasn't chipped there, which is interesting. Because I remember at the moment, I felt like I was in chip and I had to do something. Actually, I think I had a little bit of health there left, so I didn't have to panic quite just yet. right? After this U slashes, this is when we would have been in trouble, but yeah, I mean, at that point, that was just a lot of all of the mistakes we have made over the course of the round that I talked about earlier, leaving us with no HP to play with, right? That is a very difficult position to win the round from as a character with no meterless DP, and I'm out of Brave points there too, right? So, all right, walk back, round start. Yeah, and again, it's another reason that you can tell that I'm not walking back to try and punish something. I'm walking back because I'm scared, because the same thing happened again there, and I wasn't ready to punish it. It was just luck the first time that I managed to react. Okay. Nice. We wait for their auto combo there is over, right? And most of the time, every auto combo is very minus. So we take our turn there. That's not bad. We got DP'd on wake up there. I'm not too upset about that. DP is not, especially in mid-screen like this, it's not like a super high reward or anything. Look, okay. Like, do you see what I mean, though? Look at how much, like, we walked ourselves into the corner. That was not the DP that did that. We walked ourselves into the corner very, very over the course of, you know, a couple interactions there. Playing scared like this is playing not to lose, right? We talk a lot about playing to win instead of playing not to lose. What I'm doing right now is I'm playing not to lose. If I had to stay away from the gremlin lady, she can't hurt me. But eventually, you know, it's an ingenious part of fighting games that has been around for 40 years now. You can't run away forever. Eventually, it's a corner, and it's the worst place to be, right? So we very willfully walked ourselves into the corner. That is the most blatant example of us playing scared I think that I've seen so far in these replays. And we don't die for it, but we got a brave counter. I don't know if that was baited necessarily. I mean, at that point we were scrambling, right? We were panicking, but I'm not gonna harp on what just happened there too much. But anyway, let's watch Charlotta's victory screen here because I think it's cute. So let's just go through it. GG's to Fumbler, of course. I can't. I think they ended up making it maybe to, I can't remember if they made it to top 16 or not, but, you know, good games to them. Very, very well played. Definitely poorly played by us in some circumstances. And by the way, like, this, I want to remember that, you know, be nice to yourself when you're watching your replays, right? Like, I know that I can be, like, I know that my intentions are good, right? So I can be, like, a little bit mean with myself and be like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, why are you playing scared? Like, oh, this guy's got no idea what he's doing, correct? But that's just, you know, that's more so, like, I know that I don't mean anything by that. Like, I'm confident in my abilities and my ability to analyze myself, so it's okay. But, you know, don't be kind to yourself from the past, right? This brick was in a tournament fighting for their life. Their first Granblue tournament, their first tournament in a really long time, fighting for their life to not get eliminated, right? So it's really easy for me to sit back right now in my lounge chair, right, and just be like, oh, man, I can't believe you did that. Don't you know that's plus, right? But obviously, like, it's easy to make mistakes like that and panic in the moment. But that's fine. Both of those things can coexist. It's understandable that I made those mistakes, and I should try to not make those mistakes again, right? I think that's a good mindset to have whenever you're looking at replays. But yeah, I mean, this is mostly educational for me, of course, in terms of, like, at least what because everyone is gonna know that your unique playstyle. Even if you play Ladiva, you're going to be very different from me, right? The things that you do well are not going to be the things that I do well, and the things that you need to improve on are probably not going to be the things that I need to improve on, right? Whether you're better than me or worse than me. But this is the general idea, right? Just go through your replays. Losses, I know it hurts. I know it hurts to watch your losses, right? But it's more important. Probably you've done more wrong in your losses than your wins, so there's more for you to analyze and learn from there. Trust me. But yes, I'd say for me, what do you guys think? Let me. I would be. By the way, just like I know this is. Well, usually I'm here. I'm trying to teach you guys. But if anyone notices anything that I missed in my sets here as we were analyzing those matches, please let me know in the comments. But for myself, if I had to summarize it, right in the Granathan match, definitely. I mean, okay, the tail of the tape for both of them is definitely a player who is playing scared. Right, walking back at round starts, not command grabbing enough because it's a risky option, right? Because we'll get punished if they get command grab, right? Forgetting basic character knowledge, like the fact that maintenance completed, return to title screen, sure. Forgetting basic character knowledge, like the fact that Charlotta's little 6/ thing there is plus, right? Or that our 6/6H was not spaced out enough there for us to hit far M on the Grand. Things like that are definitely me being very panicky. But things like, excuse me, sorry. Stuffy nose. It's weather's been changing real fast in Canada. Things like the dashing around in neutral all the time, though, that I'll do even if I'm calm, right? That's just still a problem that I have in terms of I need to work on my neutral. So I think that's a big, like, don't overwhelm yourself with lessons, right? To try and take one thing or two things away at most, and then work on them in a very focused manner. I probably did 20 things wrong in those sets, but at least try and find what was the biggest problem. And for me, besides the nerves, and the nerves that'll come with time, right? Playing less nervous and trying to at least still play well when we're scared, not let our fear get to us, right? And at least play the way that we always would is important. But besides that, the big thing is, I think if I have to condense it down to one idea, when we're like here, like we're almost on the other side of the screen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad at spatial reasoning, and this is mirrored. There you go. If this is us, right, and we're on like the other side of the screen, and the opponent is on the other side of the screen, dashing here is a horrible idea. We did that a couple of times against the Charlotta and a couple of times against the Gran. It's a worse idea against Gran because Gran has moves that can very quickly cover screen space and hit us out of our dash, like his boot, like his projectile, right? A lot of zoners, obviously this is a bad idea against, even though they're the ones you want to dash against the most, unless you're going to spot dodge, of course. Zoe, characters like that. This is like, we need to, like, it's kind of what Fumbler did to us at the end, right? Obviously we helped, but we walked ourselves into the corner, right? It's counterintuitive, but slowly and safely gaining space on people will actually gain you more space over the course of the match. Right? If we have to walk, block, block, eventually we're making up distance. The way like generally the fighting game is designed is that we are going to be making distance there if we're walking a little bit in between every block, right? And they're getting pushed back to the corner too. So eventually that'll put us in the optimal position for us to be for a grappler. So I need to not. I have a bad habit of rushing neutral. I think where I just go, okay, well, neutral here. Because neutral's bad. I'm not very good at neutral. I want neutral to be over. Let me dash at someone. Let me super jump at someone. And it's just not a good idea. And the subset of that we can take away for right now is that we should not dash at full screen. Right, dash into people from full screen. It's way too reactable, and there's lots of characters that will have a lot of good ways to blow you up for that. So that's going to be the big takeaway from me from this session, along with some other little stuff that I'm gonna notice, but it's not necessarily going to be the thing that is going to be priority number one for me to work on in my next tournament, for example. Today for you guys, I think, right? So yeah, this will be Tuesday for you folk. I'm going to be playing in City of Mayhem at, I think, also 6 p.m. And that's going to be, for example, I'm going to be focusing on that really heavily, right? Don't dash from full screen unless you have a really good reason. Obviously, rules are meant to be broken, right? If I have a really, really, really good reason in my head that I think that dashing here is a good idea, sure. But don't do it by default like I was in the sets there. So I think that's my biggest takeaway, is not dashing from full screen in neutral. All right. Well, I hope you guys found this as educational as I did. I honestly, again, I expected to be like, but I analyzed my set. Like, there's some stuff that I did there that I was like, wait a minute. Like, the walking back on round start every single time and the dashing in neutral was stuff that I actually didn't pick up on in the moment, right? I noticed some of the stuff, but some of it actually was. So, even if you're someone like me who you do a lot of you do a lot of analysis in the middle of the match, right? There's still a lot of potential. Excuse me, sorry. There's a lot of potential value you can glean out of watching your replays, right? And looking at things with a fresh eye and a calm eye. So I hope you guys follow my advice and actually start watching some of your replays. It sounds unproductive. Like how am I going to be learning the game if I'm not playing the game? But trust me, especially for you guys that are in S++, right? Who there's a couple of people who are in S++, and they're just like, it's such a hard wall to get through from S++ to master because there's nothing obvious that you are doing terribly if you're in S++, right? It's not like, oh my god, you're not blocking. Oh my, you realize you have to hold back to block, right? No, that's not your problem anymore. Your problem is going to be stuff that is more subtle, stuff like what we did against Fumbler, right? Where it's like, we actually fell into a pattern there, right? Where we were always doing strike first and then command grab second. Strike first, command grab second. And they caught on that pattern and would always punish our command grabs, right? That sort of thing, like, that's not going to be super obvious to you in mid-match, but if you watch replays, you can pick up on it, so I implore all of you guys to do this, please. You might be surprised by how much you learn. In any case, that was fun. A nice little chill video for me here, because it is almost midnight, so we don't necessarily have to run any sets. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video, as always, folks, I got 4 things for you. You know how it goes. For number 1, join the Discord. There's a link in the description there. It's a nice place full of kind, welcoming folk who are always down to, a lot of them are playing games with each other, running sets, right? Sharing character knowledge, talking about fighting games, other games, relink, gacha games, Toho, people were talking about earlier today, right? So it's a nice community to just hang out and talk about whatever you like. I implore you to join. Just make sure you keep it a nice and welcoming community as it is currently. Everyone who's there is nice, and I haven't really had to do any moderation or banning or anything like that, but I won't hesitate to. So just don't be the first person that I ever have to ban. That's not a reputation that you want, For number 2, 2, if you liked the video, and I sure hope you did, get down there and like the damn video, man. Come on, it's free. It don't cost you nothing. Greatly helps out the channel, and I appreciate it a lot, of course. While you're down there, for number 3, that subscribe button and that bell button, they're right over there. Keep you up to date with all of this content we're throwing at you here every day. We got fighting game adjacent Granblue content for now, mostly at noon p.m. EST every day. And then we got relink content at 7 p.m. EST every day, where that you know, things are definitely spicing up on the relink end there. So I you know, would recommend that you check it out, even if that's not normally your bag, baby, as it were. But yeah, stay up to date with all of this, like this 2 hours of content a day almost that I'm throwing at you by hitting those 2 buttons. And of course, for number 4, more important than whatever buttons you smash, whatever algorithm-friendly interactions you hit me with, I appreciate those, but I hope you had a great time hanging out today, as always. I know I sure did, right? This was nice and educational. You know, we get to sit back and analyze without any pressure on us. It's a good time, right? I almost feel like this can be relaxing in a way, watching your replays. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it as educational as I did. Having a lot of fun with Granblue. Is going to be a lot more coming your way. But until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.